Americans and soon-to-be Americans, it's gonna be crazy. I didn't look into this because this just happened. This dropped 44 minutes ago, and I have been live for the last hour and 50 minutes. So this just happened. I'm excited. I wasn't gonna watch this because I don't normally watch like the press briefings, but apparently she absolutely cooks the press. And insane Putin updates. Trump might stop the war between Russia and Ukraine. Like, I know everyone was going crazy about that, but dog, that's insanity. So anyway, very excited about this. Also, by the way, fun fact, because I love meltdowns. I'm here for the meltdowns. I collect meltdowns. Meltdowns like their Pokemon. I saw people trying to say that it's disrespectful for her to be wearing a cross in her briefings. Dog, what the how is that disrespectful? Like, what are you talking about? Like, can you please criticize for something that's even remotely legitimate? This is like saying, oh, I don't like that DOGE has oversight over where the money is going, and it should be, you know, defrauded behind the scenes. We should commit fraud and not be able to get caught, says the Democrats in the modern media landscape. So anyway, let's go, baby. Let's see what it's all about. And it's muted.
Phone with President Zelensky of Ukraine.
All right, so Trump. All right, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready. Bring me the chaos. Bring me the drama. Apparently, reporters are going to jail for some shit. I don't know, dude. My chat's going wild. Everyone's excited. All right, let's go.
His truth is as follows. I just spoke to President Zelensky of Ukraine. The conversation went very well. He, like President Putin, wants to make peace.
Bro? What? What? Dude! Huh? Wait, whoa. 4 years of Bidening around? Bidening their time? Nothing happens? Hello? Peace? Dog? Putin wants peace? Dog? Hello? And then everyone, Trump's a warmonger, he's crazy. Gulf of America, he renamed the Gulf of Mexico, that's horrible. All right, dude.
We discussed a variety of topics having to do with the war, but mostly the meeting that is being set up on Friday in Munich, where Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will lead the delegation. I am hopeful that the results of that meeting will be positive.
Dude.
It is time to stop this ridiculous war where there has been massive and totally unnecessary death and destruction.
All right, now I have one thing to say. If Trump does succeed in shutting this war down within the first month of him being the fucking president of the United States, I propose we rename Mars the Orange Planet. We rename it Planet America. It's gonna be huge.
God bless the people of Russia and Ukraine. I myself just spoke to the president about these calls, and he told me to tell all of you they were very good calls, they were very positive, and the administration is wholeheartedly committed to a peace deal to end once and for all the Russia-Ukraine war.
There was nothing even remotely this solid for Biden's whole term, and they call Trump a warmonger? They call Trump anti-peace? Oh my God! This is insanity.
More on that later. I'm sure you'll have more questions to ask. This week, the president has continued to deliver on his promises to the American people. According to new polling that was released at the beginning of this week by CBS News.
Dude, I know this video just came out. It just happened. So I don't know how somehow they're going to twist it to Trump being bad. I know that they'll find a way. I don't know how they'll find a way. But I know that they will. Dude, what is going on?
Overwhelming 70% of Americans.
70% of Americans say that Trump kept his word. Dude, these are like monumental victories. Dude, what is the Cope spiral on the left even doing right now? It's shocking. Dude, that's fucking gross. Fucking gross that people hate Trump so much that they can't even say that he actually did something good. Wild.
Said that President Trump is following through on what he pledged to do during his historic campaign. The poll also revealed that Americans see President Trump as a tough, energetic, focused, and effective leader fighting hard to improve their lives and our country. And yesterday, in particular, was a truly...
sorry. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Trump's call with Putin makes no mention of the fact that Russia started this unprovoked invasion and that Putin continues it every day and could end the killing at any time. Putin is a war criminal, mass murderer, still on loose, normalizing him as abhorrent. So, should Trump not have tried to make peace? Because he's abhorrent? This is the most fucking retarded thing I've ever seen in my life. You are trying to vilify Trump for this? Are you insane? He's trying to end a war, and you're like, why are you ending a war? Because you talking to Putin makes it look like you're treating Putin like a normal guy. This is crazy. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Dude, look at these tweets. What? Trump administration abandoned long-standing U.S. foreign policy. Trump is a traitor to democracy and the world. No one can trust him now. We are compromised. You know, honestly, I told you. I told you they'd find a way. It's insanity out there. Actual meltdowns. They would rather the world burn and millions die than say that they like Trump right now. What the fuck, guys?
Special day for the United States of America. Thanks to the great leadership of President Trump and the strong and tough leadership of President Trump, Mark Fogle, an American teacher detained by Russia, was returned to American soil and met with the president here at the White House last night. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and the rest of President Trump's incredible national security team helped to negotiate the exchange that secured Mark Fogle's release.
Damn.
This event shows a good faith
Mark Fogle was an American guy in prison in Russia, right? That was his backstory?
Effort from Russia, and it's a sign, as I just said, that we are moving in the right direction to end this brutal war. Malphine Fogle, Mark's 95-year-old mother, was understandably very worried that she would never see her son again after his arrest in 2021.
Dude was in a Russian prison for 3 years. Holy shit.
Mrs. Fogle was actually slated to join President Trump on stage at the July 13th Butler, Pennsylvania rally to speak out for Mark. And then the infamous assassination attempt against President Trump took place.
That rally? Bro. So you're okay, dude, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist here, but you're telling me that by the rally where someone was going to speak out against Russia, someone was on an unsurveilled rooftop that tried to kill Trump? That the media immediately shut down all the fucking investigation into that guy? Really? No, dude. No, bro. What the fuck? That's crazy.
Place. But that day, before the rally, President Trump promised Mark's mother that when he returned to the White House, he would bring her son home.
Promise kept. Promise fucking kept. Dude, I like every time it happens, I'm so surprised because I'm so not used to a politician actually keeping their word. I'm used to politicians promising the fucking moon. Literally. The moon! God damn. And then not delivering on anything. God damn, that's crazy.
God saved President Trump's life on that day in Butler, Pennsylvania, and now Mark Fogle is back home safely with his family as a result.
Thank God.
God
bro.
is good. The president also continues to bring back common sense to our government. This week, he signed an EO to end the procurement and forced use of paper straws.
Let's go! I am the only one that is happy about this, goddammit. Why am I the only one that is on this side? Everyone's like, oh, that's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It's fighting against brain worms. It is fighting against brain worms, god damn it. Brain worms. Yes. Facts. It's a glorious day. I'm just saying, Trump may not be able to win the left. You know, because, you know, some people are going to be stuck in their echo chambers forever. He might not be able to win the left with, you know, transgender things and stuff like that. But this is Hamas Piker's Uncle Cenk Unger, leftist commentator. I have a confession. I hate paper straws. We are working, guys. It is happening. This is crazy. I'm just saying that, Yes! Common sense, guys. And to everyone in chat that's going wild about the fucking ecosystem, we bought millions of masks for COVID. Okay, go away. They make paper straws wrapped in plastic. Actual retardation.
Were wasted on these non-functional and massively unpopular products for no other reason.
Explosive products.
Then it made radical activists feel good about themselves.
It did. And I think this should be an important time in our history. Okay? I'm not just saying fuck paper straws. Fuck making radical activists happy, okay? I don't care if you want something completely innocuous. Absolutely not. No caving to radical nutcases. No. No more of that bullshit. Oh, but it's not gonna affect you. I don't care. I'm sorry. Because now it's this thing and next it's that thing. We absolutely do not cave to radical activism, okay? You guys are retarded. I don't want to hear about this shit. Oh, but it doesn't matter. It matters. It's the principle. It's the principle, god damn it. Oh, but I'm gonna glue myself to the wall. All right, you do that. Glue yourself to the wall.
And on trade, President Trump continues to take bold action to protect America's critical steel and aluminum industries, much like he did in his first term. And the president signed proclamations to close existing loopholes and exemptions to restore a true 25% tariff on steel and elevate the tariff on aluminum to 25% as well.
I'm sorry. People in my chat, I'm receiving pushback for my radical rant. We don't negotiate with terrorists. And we don't negotiate with retards. Okay? I'm sorry. No negotiation. If you're a radical activist asking for something even though it doesn't really matter, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not an inch. This is how it started in the fucking video game industry as well, by the way. It's like, oh, it doesn't really matter if they're female Astartes in Warhammer 40k, right? It doesn't really make a difference. No. Absolutely zero caving on changing the lore of an established franchise for your own fucking worldview, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, the transgender emperor of mankind is gonna come back on his golden throne, and he's gonna literally compete in women's sports. Okay? I don't want it. Sorry, bro. No. Zero. Zero caving. No madness. Enough of this garbage. Damn, that's gonna get clipped and put on Twitter.
This administration believes these tariffs will protect our national security and put American workers first. And in the Oval Office yesterday with Elon Musk, President Trump took further action to make our federal government more efficient and effective. He signed an EO implementing the DOGE Workforce Optimization Initiative. Now agency heads will coordinate and consult.
I can't believe DOGE is just like a normal word in our dictionary right now.
With DOGE to significantly shrink the size of the federal workforce and limit hiring to essential positions only. The unaccountable bureaucracy will finally be reined in.
Amen. Oh God, what a glorious day. These fucking bureaucrats out there lining their own pockets. Zero oversight. No more, baby! Dude, this honestly feels like we're in a movie. Like, taking it back. Taking America back, goddammit. And the funniest thing is, the detractors, they're hilarious. They try so hard to try to make sense. Why, there shouldn't actually be oversight on the billions of dollars of government spending. Yeah, true. Good point. Good point, absolutely. I completely agree. I agree. We should sign on a $100 billion bill to pay gay people to have sex in China. Absolutely.
On another important matter this morning, Senate Republicans continued to confirm President Trump's
think of all the fucking turtles dying because of the condoms that you're sending to Gaza.
Exceptionally qualified nominees, most recently Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, who will be joining us later at the White House for her swearing-in ceremony.
All right, pre-watch moment. Pre-watch moment. She's going to be the first female president. The first female president is going to be a Republican, and no one is going to be able to call Republicans sexist. Oh, the only reason why Kamala lost was because she was a woman. No, she lost because she's retarded. No offense, Kamala, but you're retarded.
It's imperative that the remainder of the president's cabinet nominees are confirmed as quickly as possible. On another important matter this week, illegal alien criminals continue to be arrested and sent home as part of the ongoing mass deportation effort of the Trump administration. Just this week, 2 planes with 190 Venezuelan illegal aliens arrived in the Venezuelan capital from Fort Bliss, Texas. Here are some of the criminal illegal aliens who were arrested in the country this past week.
Bro, she has a list of criminals. Oh my God, this is just gloating, and it's like completely appropriate.
ICE Atlanta arrested a citizen of Nigeria who had been convicted of money laundering.
An illegal immigrant money launderer. Damn, this is literally every Democratic congressman's wet dream.
ICE San Antonio arrested a citizen of Mexico who had been convicted of assault. ICE Denver arrested a citizen of Mexico who had been convicted of aggravated assault.
Dude.
And ICE Houston arrested a citizen of Mexico who had been convicted of aggravated assault. Now,
all right, can't wait for people to somehow find a way to twist that shit. Oh, I can't believe they're racist. They're arresting Mexicans.
Before I take questions, I would like to address an extremely dishonest narrative that we've seen emerging over the past few days.
Ooh.
Many outlets in this room have been
Oh God, she's cooking. Oh God, she's cooking. She's cooking the press.
fear-mongering the American
That's literally the word I use in like every single one of these videos. They are 100% fear-mongering.
people into believing there is a constitutional crisis.
Actual retarded. I'm so happy. Oh my God. Calling out the elephants in the room. Holy shit. She should point at them.
Taking place here at the White House.
Yeah, that is literally the narrative. Constitutional crisis. Elon Musk is unelected. Ah!
Hearing those words a lot lately. But in fact, the real constitutional crisis is taking place within our judicial branch, where district court judges in liberal districts across the country are abusing their power.
She's actually addressing every criticism. Every criticism gets addressed. This is the most transparent government America has had in my lifetime.
To unilaterally block President Trump's basic executive authority. We believe these judges are acting as judicial activists rather than honest arbiters of the law.
Yep. Let me see if I can find this. Yup. They have been. In fact, there's actual evidence of that now. Actual evidence. You ready to lose your shit? Ready to lose your actual mind? U.S. District Judge John Bates orders Trump to restore web pages on sex change operations and gender ideology across whatever, all those websites. Breaking news. Judge John Bates, who ordered Trump to restore sex change operations web pages, has a conflict of interest. Oh, I wonder why. His wife's nonprofit gets USAID funding. Is that not the most obvious conflict of interest in the fucking world? What is going on? The judge is trying to shut him down for this. And his wife is getting funding from fucking AIDS too. US AIDS. Dog. Like, this is crazy. Crazy. Money is going into his own home. And he stands up to somehow try to stop Trump from oversight. Basic oversight.
And they have issued at least 12
hypocrisy
injunctions against this administration in the past 14 days, often without citing any evidence or grounds for their lawsuits. This is part of a larger concerted effort by Democrat activists and nothing more than the continuation of the weaponization of justice against President Trump.
Bro, Trump is literally, say what you want. They tried to kill him with bullets. They tried to kill him with the law. This fucking guy. I'm Donald Trump, bulletproof, legal proof. I got God on my side, and I got my hands in my pockets. No one can stop me. I'm gonna rename every bit of this planet after America if I have to. American Ocean, not the Pacific Ocean. The United States Ocean. That's what we're gonna be calling the Atlantic Ocean. Every ocean gets renamed into a different part of America.
Quick news flash.
We are renaming Australia as Upside Trump. But sir, you have no authority over Australia. I am calling it Upside Trump, goddammit!
To these liberal judges who are supporting their obstructionist efforts, 77 million Americans voted to elect this president. And each injunction is an abuse of the rule of law and an attempt to thwart the will of the people. As the president clearly stated in the Oval Office yesterday, we will comply with the law in the courts, but we will also continue to seek every legal remedy to ultimately overturn these radical injunctions and ensure President Trump's policies can be enacted.
God damn.
So here in our new media seat today, we have Chris Pavlovsky, an entrepreneur who has a strong passion for protecting freedom of speech. Chris started the video sharing platform Rumble in 2013 with a mission of protecting a free and open internet from censorship by big tech and governments around the globe. The platform has always been a place for independent creators to share their authentic opinions.
Dude, it's so crazy to hear this shit. Like, I feel like we're actually not, this isn't just the pendulum swinging. This is just basic common sense shit happening. Like, actual just basic common sense. Like, dude, I'm not even joking. Yeah, look at the contrast between that and between Kamala Harris. Okay, this is Kamala Harris.
That is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation, and that has to stop.
She said that people on social media are talking to millions of people without oversight and regulation, and that has to stop. That is an active advocacy for censorship.
Okay, right away.
Yeah.
There's no way to misconstrue that.
What does that mean?
Oversight and regulation for free speech is ridiculous.
Yeah, totally.
Just that alone, there's no way to...
Yeah, and then compare that to what Trump is doing.
The platform has always been a place for independent creators to share their authentic opinions, and they have always included President Trump, in contrast to the way he was censored by other platforms in years past.
Isn't that crazy?
Since its founding, Rumble has grown exponentially, recently marking 67 million monthly active users. It's a lot of users. If you're watching right now and interested in sitting in this seat, you can apply, whitehouse.gov/new-media. With that, I will take your questions. And Chris, why don't you kick us off on this very busy news day?
Carolyn, thank you very much to you and President Trump. It's an honor to be sitting here in the new media seat for the White House press briefing and to be able to demonstrate why freedom of expression is so important. Rumble was the victim of censorship at the hands of multiple foreign governments. It's clear there are still many countries who oppose free speech and even target American companies. Can you describe what the administration will do to protect U.S. interests and values worldwide?
Sure. Well, thanks for the very important question. And I think that free speech and ending censorship,
Dude, Rumble just got the biggest promotion of all time. That's crazy.
Both here at home and also abroad, is an important part of President Trump's agenda. I think first, President Trump has led by example on this front as the leader of the free world, the president of the United States, with his show of access and transparency on a daily basis. The president takes questions from all of you.
He literally does. He literally does.
Almost every single day, and really reveals what he's thinking.
Dude, there is not a single time that he's signing executive orders that literally, you have reporters asking him questions about literally anything that they want. That is an insane level of transparency.
And feeling, and I think that serves as a great example to the rest of the world. As for tangible actions that the president has signed, he did sign an executive order, I believe on day one, certainly within the first week of this administration, to restore free speech and stop government-sponsored censorship here at home. And the EO made it very clear that federal employees are not allowed to engage in any activity that would infringe upon the American people's right of free expression. So I think the president has led quite strongly on this. And I would just add, this is part of the reason we have a new media seat, to invite new voices into this room. Again, we're going to need to expand this room because so many people are interested, and we're very excited about that. It's a privilege.
That's crazy. Just inviting, they are literally inviting people to be part of the press, to ask them questions that aren't actually associated with massive media companies. It's not just for like CNN and Fox News anymore. It's for random fucking YouTubers and shit. The mainstream media is over, and they hate it. Look at these disappointed faces.
Privilege to cover this White House, but we want all voices to be heard. So thanks for being us with here, Chris, and I hope you enjoy the briefing. Sure. Jordan.
Thanks, Caroline. Data out this morning showed that consumer prices were up across a variety of goods, and just before that report, though, President Trump called for lower interest rates. The Fed said it's holding rates steady to try and tamp down further inflation. So how would lowering rates help keep inflation in check for the American people?
Sure. Well, first of all, on the inflation point, we did receive those numbers, and they were worse than expected, which tells us that the Biden administration indeed left us with a mess to deal with. It's far worse than I think anybody anticipated, because unfortunately the previous administration was not transparent in where the economy truly was. No, people at this very podium told the American people that inflation was transitory and that it would go away. That was not the case. And now the last report of the Biden administration, as revealed today, shows that inflation is still about 4.5% higher over the past 3 months. This is an indictment on the Biden administration's mismanagement of the inflation crisis and their lack of transparency in addressing it.
But there is good news. At least Iraq has Sesame Street. Like, can we at least come together to be happy that Gaza got condoms? $50 million of condoms? Or can we at least come together for this moment to say, thank God. Thank God for the billions of dollars that's spent on gay people in Afghanistan right before America bombed them. This is fantastic shit.
As for tackling inflation and interest rates, the president has made his position on this very clear. He wants interest rates to be lower, he wants inflation to be lower, and he believes that the whole of government economic approach that this administration is taking will result in lower inflation. I have said that from this podium many times. The president had record low interest rates and
the problem with condoms are they could be inflated radically.
Inflation rates in his first term. He believes that the economy can handle it and withstand it. And we're doing a lot to tackle the inflation.
Yeah, you know why they had to actually make an Iraqi Sesame Street instead of just sending them the same Sesame Street in America? Because the Sesame Street in America were the people running the country, so they were busy.
Effort on this front. It's a whole of government economic approach, and I've talked about what we're doing to tackle inflation quite a few times from this podium.
What about the reciprocal tariffs? That's going to come before Prime Minister Modi's visit tomorrow.
I do believe it will come before the Prime Minister's visit tomorrow, and I will let the president discuss the details on the reciprocal tariff front. But this is something he believes strongly in, and it's very simple logic as to why the president wants to impose reciprocal tariffs. It's the golden rule, which we all learned when we were growing up in school. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and far too many nations around this.
Why should America be the world's piggy bank that they shouldn't give reciprocal tariffs? Sorry. Why shouldn't they give reciprocal tariffs? If some country is going to be a dick to America and literally try to capitalize on America, why on earth wouldn't America get the same fucking tariffs back from them? Why does America need to be the good guy? Bro, look at this shit. Cenk Uygur, Hamas Piker's uncle, all right? Leader of the Young Turks, leftist extraordinaire. I agree with Trump's reciprocal tariffs. What is going on, guys? What's going on? Orange Hitler is actually making some just objectively good decisions.
World have been ripping off the United States of America for far too long, and that's why the president believes this will be a great policy that will benefit American workers and improve our national security. JJ.
On DOGE and the fraud claims, Elon Musk in the Oval yesterday gave us some information on that. We're just wondering if there's
some information on that? I hate the DOGE questions. I hate them so much. DOGE is literally just oversight on government spending instead of sending billions of dollars to gay tap dancing in North Korea. Like, what is wrong with you?
Proof, evidence? Is the White House willing to share evidence of those fraud claims, or can Elon Musk come to the briefing room and share material evidence of what he's talking about?
Sure.
Dude, that Karen smile, bro. I was blocking it. I have to move my avatar, guy, just so you can see this fucking question. Elon Musk.
I would love Musk come to the briefing room and share material evidence of what he's talking about. Sure.
Please share material evidence. Yeah, anyway, so people have been arrested through DOGE findings already. you're a retard, okay? These questions are stupid. It's literally just to try to push a narrative that there's no evidence that anyone in the government ever did anything wrong. It is so despicable and obvious. Every single time this question is asked, it's not to get an answer. It's to put in the mind of anyone watching that DOGE has no evidence that the fucking Democrats in office ever did anything wrong. With the biggest shit-eating grin of all time.
I would love for Elon Musk to come to the briefing room. That's why we had him go to the Oval Office yesterday.
He literally did a 30-minute unprompted press conference yesterday. Literally. He literally just answered every question you could throw at him. And she's implying with this question, this freaking Karen over here, is implying with the question that Elon's not willing to talk to the people when he literally did an Oval Office interview with Trump and his baby.
Where I think he provided great answers. He was speaking in layman's terms, speaking common sense.
I love how she's saying it. He was speaking obvious fucking bullshit that anyone that actually paid attention and doesn't just completely live in brain rot land, everyone could agree with this.
To all of you in the media, but also to Americans at home, but I would say especially to all of you in the media, because I think it's a real fallacy that there's this alleged lack of transparency when it...
Oh my God, she's cooking. She's cooking. The grin has faded. The grin has faded.
...comes to DOGE. President Trump...
It's the most transparent government of all time. Meanwhile, the previous government was so behind the scenes, not a single person knew about billions of dollars funding gay sex in Uganda. Okay, no one knew about that shit, but that's okay. That's fine. No one cares about that, but DOGE oversight?
Elon Musk have been incredibly transparent on what DOGE is doing. There is an X account with the DOGE handle. They are tweeting out what they are doing on a daily basis. They have a website where they are posting the receipts of the contracts that they are reviewing and the payments that they have stopped from going out the door. The secretaries of our departments have stopped from going out the door. And I would also say that before it was Elon Musk making our government efficient and accountable, it was some unnamed bureaucrat that none of you knew.
True. What's more transparent? A guy that you know is actually in charge of something, or, you know, previously, where no one even knew who was running what? Billions of dollars just disappearing into the ether with no explanation. How on earth is this worse?
Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He's also now one of the most highly scrutinized men in the world alongside President Trump because of what he's doing and the access that he is allowing. So there's great transparency. As for the actual receipts, we are happy to provide them, and I actually brought some today.
Oh my God, she killed her! Dude, the grin is back! The grin is back! Oh Lord!
Because all of you know I love to bring the receipts.
Bro, she killed them. She fucking killed them on live television.
We have contracts upon contracts that we can send and provide this information to you. Let me be very clear. We are not trying to hide anything. We have been incredibly transparent, and we will continue to be.
No.
These are screenshots of contracts that DOGE found across our government. This is a DEI contract, $36,000 for U.S. citizenship and immigration services. That is against the president's policies and his America First agenda.
Yes, sir.
This is a $3.4 million contract. A Council for Inclusive Innovation at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Department of Commerce. Another.
That's a fucking nothing. That's a nothing. $3 million nothing burger.
DEI contract that DOGE.
Where's the grin? No grin anymore, lady? Oh my God, what a glorious day to be me. Oh, slurping up this chaos. Subscribe for more chaos, goddammit. We're here for big balls.
Identified.
I don't even know what they're supposed to do. The hell is DEI at patent offices supposed to do?
I can continue to go through.
Oh yes, we got more black and gay patents than white patents. The fuck?
These. Oh, I love this one. $57,000 for climate change in Sri Lanka.
Brother! It's over. She killed them. Where's the smile, lady? Huh? Where's the smile? Where's the smile? Climate change in Sri Lanka?
What is this doing to continue the interests of the American people? Absolutely nothing.
It's over.
These are the line.
The entire room is dead. Not a smile on any of their faces. They are sweating.
Items across the federal government that DOGE is identifying daily. They're moving very fast. There's a lot of paper that we can show you, but we're happy to do it. This administration has been more than transparent about what DOGE is doing. And here's one of their tweets that they posted about the mine.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I believe this is in Pennsylvania.
A Pennsylvania mine, where only 1,000 people a month or whatever could retire.
Where the federal employee retirement system is being processed. Did anybody know this was even happening in our...
I didn't know they have 700 employees in a mine where they can only move the elevator a certain amount of times in a month, so they can only process a certain amount of pages. Again, you have to look at my other video. I just covered that. But fuck, dude. That's insanity. Bro, we're funding a goon cave for federal employees. I didn't know about this.
Country before Elon Musk talked about it in the Oval Office yesterday, a lot of Americans didn't. So we are providing transparency and accessibility on a daily basis when it comes to DOGE. And I also have a DOGE daily report if anybody would like it.
Bro, she's just flexing at this point. She's just flexing at this point. Oh my God!
On all of the things that they are identifying and finding. We're happy to provide this information to you. We're talking about it every single day.
Are all those things you just mentioned fraud, or are...
Oh my fucking God, lady. Actual retardation. I hate this argument so much.
Are they waste, or are they just contrary to the president's policy?
Are they fraud or are they just waste? The fuck question is that? If it's waste, it's fraud, because it's my money, goddammit.
I would
But also there is fraud. Absolutely. There are people arrested and fired for fraud already.
argue that all of these things are fraudulent, they are wasteful, and they are an abuse of the American taxpayer's dollar.
Facts.
This is not what the government should be spending money on. It's contrary to the president's priorities and agenda. And again, we can continue to provide you the receipts for all of the fraud, waste, and abuse. And if anybody in here wants to argue that the federal government is not fraudulent in some capacity, be my guest, because I think the American people watching at home would beg to differ.
Oh, big facts on that one. Oh my God, she destroyed it. She destroyed him. They're gone. They're all cooked. It's over. We just witnessed the murder.
Mary.
Hey,
Is it really fraud or is it waste?
we're on the judges. Does the White House believe the courts have the authority to issue these nationwide injunctions?
We believe that the injunctions that have been issued by these judges...
I feel like there's so little to actually catch Trump on right now because literally he's just kind of cooking. So they all just have to keep jumping on DOGE because there's nothing else they can fucking talk about.
have no basis in the law and have no grounds, and we will, again...
You do realize what these judges are doing by trying to shut this down. They're trying to shut down basic oversight on billions of dollars of government spending. That's the most self-report corrupt shit I've ever heard in my life.
As the president said very clearly yesterday, comply with these orders, but it is the administration's position that we will also ultimately be vindicated, and the president's executive actions that he took were completely within the law. They were constitutional, and we look forward to the day where he can continue to implement his agenda. And I would just add, it's our view that this is the continuation of the weaponization of justice that we have seen against President Trump. He fought it for 2 years on the campaign trail. It won't stop him now. Brian.
Damn. Bro, that eye roll. Oh my God. They have nothing. They have nothing.
Go back to DOGE just for a second.
You were always on DOGE. It's the only thing that they're trying to grapple with because there's so nothing else.
Earlier, the subcommittee headed by Chairman Marjorie Taylor Greene, her and her staff discovered $2.7 trillion in improper payments to Medicare, Medicaid, overseas,
What?
people who should not have gotten it. Some in this room might have missed that press conference. Can you
Oh my God.
Elaborate on what the president is thinking at this point?
Dude, this is only the surface of the corruption. I'm telling you, the next 4 years are going to be content central.
Well, again, that's another example. There's a very long list of the fraud, waste, and abuse that DOGE is identifying on a daily basis. Elon Musk also talked about yesterday about Social Security payments that are going out the door
To
for
dead people.
who are no longer with us, unfortunately.
That's fraud. That's not just waste, that's fraud.
I would say that is certainly fraud. There's also a lot of contracts they've identified that, just as a hypothetical example, are $1 million, but only 500,000 went out the door. So where's the rest of that cash? And so that's the thing. Those are the things that DOGE is working on every single day. And I would just remind everybody in this room, this is what President Trump campaigned on doing. He's delivering on a promise that 77 million people elected him to do. James.
Thank you very much, Caroline. 2 foreign policy questions, if I may.
Sure.
First,
finally off DOGE.
The statement that was released.
This is so fun. I'm really enjoying this. Is this what it feels like to just wake up every day, brush my teeth, and just win all day? Just keep winning the entire day. I see people cheering, I'm winning. I see people crying, I'm winning. This is crazy.
After this morning's phone calls, identified Mr. Witkoff as the special envoy who will be part of the delegation that undertakes to resolve the Russia-Ukraine war. I had thought that that individual was General Kellogg, and so can you clear that up?
Sure, I'd be happy to. As you mentioned, the president in his truth following the phone call with Vladimir Putin said that he has asked Secretary of State Rubio, the director of the CIA, John Ratcliffe, our national security advisor here at the White House, Michael Watts, and Steve Witkoff to lead the negotiations. As for General Keith Kellogg, he remains a critical part of this team in this effort. He's played a tremendous role in getting the negotiations to this point, and he's very much still part of the Trump administration.
The other subject is Iran. I took note of President Trump's comments in his Super Bowl interview with our colleague Brett Baer to the effect that he wants to do a deal with Iran. However, that interview appeared after the supreme leader of Iran, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, had already ruled out any additional negotiations with the United States. So kind of a 2-part question. A, what gives the president any confidence that Iran will come to the table?
I'm gonna come.
And B, more fundamentally, why is the president interested in doing a deal with Iran instead of doing everything he can, perhaps short of U.S. military intervention, to try and hasten the end of what many of his own supporters regard as an evil regime?
Well, the president has made it very clear that he will never...
Yeah, dude, Iran is Listen, Trump immediately shut down any potential nuclear power. That was his first thing that he'd said about Iran. Then the second thing he said about Iran was, if I get assassinated, we're gonna obliterate Iran. Bro doesn't play. Bro does not play.
Allow Iran to have nuclear capabilities. That is a red line that he has drawn.
Incredibly based. I cannot believe Biden and just others, whoever was puppeteering, I cannot believe that wasn't a red line that everyone else drew. Like, holy shit.
And he will not allow that to happen. But you asked why President Trump wants to make a deal. I would remind you, he's the master of the art of the deal. He is America's deal maker in chief. He leads from a position of...
Cryo Trump, I come back every 4 years, make a deal, back into stasis, wake up, win again, go back away, Cryo Trump.
Securing peace through strength. And I think time and time again already, in just 4 weeks, we have seen the president being able to negotiate successful deals with our partners, our adversaries all around this world. The release of Mark Fogle just last night is something that I think speaks to the president's...
True. Why was this guy in prison in Russia for 3 years? Why didn't Biden do anything about this? He couldn't make a deal. I mean, to be fair, he couldn't speak. But damn.
Deal-making ability. This is something that the Biden administration allegedly tried to do for 3.5 years. I think you all should go back and ask some of those Biden administration officials what they even tried to do and why.
She does not hold back. Oh my God. She's incredible.
Why weren't they successful? Because for 3.5 years, Mark Fogle sat in a Russian prison.
Okay, I have people in my chat saying pre-watch. This literally came out while I was live. Okay?
Prison, and it took President Trump 3 weeks.
Tried. Apparently, they managed to get a WNBA player out of Russia after the player was caught with drugs or something. But that is someone that Biden was able to free. That's someone Biden freed.
To get him back on American soil. There's nobody better at making deals than Donald Trump. Phil Wegman.
Thank you. 2 foreign policy questions. Ukrainian President Zelensky has said after the war that he wants NATO membership or nuclear weapons. We heard Defense Secretary Hegseth say that NATO membership was unrealistic. what's the president's view on the other option, on a nuclear Ukraine?
I have not talked to President Trump about Ukraine's NATO membership or their nuclear capabilities. I would leave it to him to discuss. But I will tell you again that Secretary Rubio and also the Vice President, J.D. Vance, will be meeting directly with President Zelensky in Munich on Friday, and I'm sure they will provide a readout of that conversation and that discussion.
And then the second question, given that this administration has called on Europe to take more responsibility for their own defense, I'm wondering, will the EU or any other European nation other than Ukraine be involved in these peace talks?
I don't have any European nations who are involved currently to read out for you. Certainly, the president has employed a very strong team or deployed a very strong team to continue these negotiations. And the fact that he was on the phone with both President Putin and President Zelensky today shows that he's very much involved in this effort as well.
He is. He's trying. He's trying. This just happened like an hour ago that he was on the phone with these guys, and they're both talking about peace. Dude, this is better progress, literally ever.
Just a follow-up, I guess. Sure. Should we expect the president to negotiate in person with Zelensky and Putin?
I don't have anything to read out on that for you today. Maggie, good to see you.
Thanks for taking the question. You talked about the transparency with DOGE.
They all come back to DOGE. They'll come back to DOGE.
And Elon Musk's press availability.
They're pathetic.
Yesterday, there is a conflict of interest law in place that says.
Dude, we've been over this. He answered these questions. I'm telling you, it's a brainworm echo chamber concept. They repeat the same garbage again and again and again, so people in their own little echo chamber just keep hearing it until they believe it's true. Bro is worth $400 billion. Stop with the conflict of interest and show me corruption. He is showing corruption.
As that people who have personal interests can't interact with government entities that could touch on those. Has President Trump signed a waiver for Elon Musk? Does such a thing exist? If it does, will you guys release it in the interest of transparency that he's committed to?
I have not seen the law that you are referring to. What I can tell you is that Elon Musk, as I've confirmed before, is a special government employee. He is filing the proper financial disclosure, and he is complying with all applicable federal laws. As you also heard, Elon address this directly yesterday in the alleged conflict of interest, and he said everything he's doing is very public, and if you all perceive a conflict of interest, you're welcome to bring that up. And as the president said, if he feels like Elon is engaging in something that's a conflict of interest, he will tell Elon not to do that. And Elon also said yesterday that before he moves forward...
Dude, you know what else is a conflict of interest? The fact that one of the judges that filed an injunction against Donald Trump, his wife, is making money off fucking U.S. aid. It's a conflict of interest. No one on the media seems to care about that. For some reason, no one in the media seems to think that's a conflict of interest. You know what else is a conflict of interest? You know what else is a conflict of interest? How about the fact that, random people like Nancy Pelosi, for example, she's on a contract. She makes about $100,000 every year. And she's worth over $200 million. I wonder if any of that came from, I don't know, maybe a conflict of interest of the fact that, the Democratic shadow government kind of ran the fucking billions of dollars in the government for the last bunch of years without any oversight. You think there was any conflict of interest there? That's weird.
With anything, he consults with...
But by the way, just saying, I fully agree. I don't think any elected government officials should have any right to trade stocks. I fully support that. I don't think that people working in the government, people like actually working in like Congress positions in the government, none of them should be able to invest in stocks. You're right. Good point. Good point.
The president...
To quote my favorite actress of all time, Lord Farquaad, the actress playing Snow White. Weird.
Of the United States. So we're very confident with the ethics and the guardrails that have been put in place here. Caitlin.
Thanks, Caroline. I have a few things for you, but on the commitment by President Trump, he said that he and President Putin agreed to visit each other's respective nations. Are there any preconditions that President Trump has that President Putin must do before he goes and meets with him, withdrawing some forces, withdrawing all forces, anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of. That doesn't mean they don't exist, but I was just talking with the president in our national security team. I wasn't made aware of any conditions, but if they exist, I'm happy to provide those.
And on the president himself, he styles himself as this master negotiator. He is...
Yeah. Compared to Biden, he's a master negotiator. That's for sure. I mean, suddenly there's 10,000 Mexican soldiers on the border. How did that happen? the Mexican government just decided, you know what, we're just gonna put them there ourselves? That's weird. No, I'm pretty sure it was because he negotiated that with the tariffs thing. Oh, that's interesting.
Now deploying
ceasefire in Israel, a bunch of hostages got released. I wonder how that happened. That's funny, because they were in captivity, you know, by Hamas terrorists for 16 months when Biden was in power, and none of that shit happened.
these negotiations, saying that they start immediately. We did hear from the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, though, today, saying that NATO membership is not realistic for Ukraine, and neither is returning to pre-2014 borders. Aren't they giving away bargaining chips before these negotiations have even started?
Again, I haven't talked to the president about Ukraine.
She's actually asking for, like, the actual negotiation strategy with Ukraine, while, like, throwing shade that Trump is actually terrible at making deals, guys. Actually terrible. Anyway, if not, prove it by telling me the negotiation tactics that the government is gonna do with you. You fucking moron. The negotiator.
Ukraine's NATO membership, and he appointed several individuals to negotiate on his behalf. He's directly involved in these negotiations as well, and I'm sure if you ask him that question in the near future, when you're able to, he'll give you an answer. I just don't want to get ahead of him on it.
And final thing for you, which White House official made the decision to bar the AP reporter from the Oval Office and the diplomatic reception room last night?
Well, first of all, let me just set the record straight. It is a privilege to cover this White House. It's a privilege to be the White House press secretary, and nobody has the right to go into the Oval Office and ask the President of the United States questions. That's an invitation that is given. And there are hundreds of outlets on this campus, many of you in this room who don't have the privilege of being part of that pool every single day and getting to ask the President questions. We reserve the right to decide who gets to go into the Oval Office, and you all have credentials to be here, including the Associated Press, who is in this briefing room today.
But isn't it retaliatory in nature is the argument, because the reason
retaliatory in nature?
And that the AP was barred, which they said was because they're not using the phrase Gulf of America, they're using Gulf of Mexico. And
it's a law, bitch. It's called the Gulf of America now. Fucking deal with it. Deal with it. Sorry. Deal with that, bro. Oh, you mean something in the world is not going your way? Oh, well, I personally don't agree to the law of wearing a seatbelt. Well, you know what? That's too bad. Because if I'm caught driving without a seatbelt, I'm going to get a ticket. You all right?
In line with their standards. And so the question here is this setting a precedent that this White House will retaliate against reporters who don't use the language that you guys believe reporters?
It's a law. Sorry, that's its name now.
Should use, and how does that allow?
You gotta recognize the fucking idiocy that goes on here, okay? All right, you call Kanye West Kanye instead of Ye, and people get offended. All right, listen, someone changes their name when they become trans or whatever, and then someone calls them by their dead name, as it's called. Oh, bro, fucking exposed, destroyed, obliterated. It's over. Why is that any different than naming this the Gulf of America? That's what Trump called it. That's its name now in America. If you're in Mexico, you can call it the Gulf of Mexico.
In line with the First Amendment commitment that you were just talking about.
The First Amendment doesn't mean that every single human being in the world has the right to be in the Oval Office to ask Trump questions. It's a privilege. And if you don't want to play the game, then honestly, you don't deserve that privilege.
Very up front in my briefing on day one that if we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable. And it is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America. And
she's spitting. That is a fact. That's its name. I'm sorry. It is. The President of the USA cannot change the name of that. The government of the US. Yes, actually, he can. It is a large body of water off of America. In America, he's changing its name to the Gulf of America. Why not? That's what it says on Google Maps and Apple Maps. Why can't he change its name? Again, I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I personally think whatever. It's obviously a power move. But, like, who cares? That's what he named it. You're going to get so pissy about it and you're going to be all upset. Well, then fuck you. That's a fact.
And I'm not sure why news outlets don't.
It was done. Well, why not? He could change the name of California to whatever he wants. He could rename California as Scumland if he really wanted to, after its governor, Gavin Newsom. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Want to call it that, but that is what it is. The Secretary of Interior has made that the official designation in the geographical identification name server.
It is. That's its name. Sorry. Live with it.
And Apple has recognized that. Google has recognized that. Pretty much every other outlet in this room has recognized that body of water as the Gulf of America. And it's very important to this administration that we get that right, not just for people here at home, but also for the rest of the world.
Oh, fuck. She killed her. She killed her. That's incredible. Oh, my God. She murdered her. That's a really nice... Rename California as the Fire Nation. True. Damn, that's insane.
Sure.
Thank you, Caroline.
Dude, fuck. The resting bitch face is crazy. Damn.
The prisoner exchange with Russia coming at the same time as the president is now announcing negotiations to end the war in Ukraine. The timing of that is hard to ignore. Was Ukraine discussed as part of this prisoner swap?
I was not involved in those discussions, so I can't comment on whether that came up or not. What I can say is that this was a very good deal for the United States of America and for the rest of the world. As you know, we have confirmed that the Russian who will be returning home very soon, Alexander Vinnik, was a non-violent crypto criminal, and as part of this exchange, he has forfeited more than $100 million that he obtained in that illegal crime. And in exchange, of course, we got Mark Fogle, who is a middle school teacher who kissed the American soil, but kissed the ground last night when he returned to the United States of America. It was a great deal and a great day for our country, and I think everybody, regardless of political affiliation, agrees with that.
100%.
Was Russia made aware ahead of time of the parameters that the administration and Secretary Hegseth was going to be announcing today?
The NATO parameters? Yes. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask Secretary Hegseth in the Defense Department on that, since he announced them. Jackie.
Thank you, Caroline.
Damn, bro, she is on fire. She's on fire.
To be clear, so when we're listening for a shift in position on U.S. policy, should we only listen to the president and maybe not the Secretary of Defense? Because what he outlined today would represent a shift in U.S. policy.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I speak for the President of the United States behind this podium, and I will let him discuss that.
Can you tell us any more about the next hostage releases? I understand another American's coming out today.
Sure. I'm glad you asked. It speaks to President Trump's deal-making ability.
Wow, someone actually asking a question that could possibly have an answer that makes Trump look good instead of just generically asking contempt questions saying he's silencing me.
And we can confirm the safe release of one American and two individuals from Belarus, one of whom worked for Radio Liberty. Out of respect for the privacy of these individuals, their request, we have no further details to announce on their identities, but we can confirm that one American was released today, and it's a remarkable victory on the heels of Mark Fogle returning to America last night.
Anything on who the U.S. might be releasing in exchange?
I don't have details on that at this moment. I don't have details on that at this moment. I do know that these three individuals have been released and are on their way home to their respective countries. Ouija.
Caroline, thank you so much. Can you explain how President Trump envisions the war in Russia and Ukraine coming to an end? Does he expect Ukraine to hand over?
No, the negotiations didn't even happen yet.
All the territory in question.
Again, these negotiations are ongoing. I will allow the president to divulge any red lines that he may set, but I think as deals in the past have come to fruition, the president has proven one of the things that makes him a very effective negotiator is not revealing what he's anticipating.
Facts. Bro, tariffs. 47% tariffs. One tariff for each president.
From both sides, but he is at the forefront of these negotiations in addition to the very qualified individuals who he's tasked with speaking to both President Putin and President Zelensky.
And speaking of deals, a meeting with the President of the United States offers any foreign leader credibility. Was it part of the prisoner swap with Fogle that President Trump agreed to meet with Putin?
Again, I was already asked this question. I said I was not made aware of that, but we can certainly get you an answer on that. I'll check in with the NSC. Sure, Monica.
Thanks, Caroline. It's clear that this administration is dedicated to both truth and transparency. We know that with DOGE, but we also know that because this administration recently announced it's going to declassify the assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr.
Finally, an interesting question. What's Trump planning on Russia? Is he planning on butt-fucking Putin or only maybe titillating his asshole? Well, we don't actually know what the negotiations are going to look like at this time. All right, but my question really is Zelensky and Putin really going to, get together and make sweet love? I mean, I really don't know. I don't think so. They don't seem to like each other very much. Bro, Finally, a question that's relatively interesting that she can actually answer.
JFK and RFK. I'm wondering, is it likely that we're going to see more information regarding the assassination attempts on the president's life while he was on the campaign trail?
Yo! Fantastic question. Let's go.
In regards to the assassination of the individuals you mentioned, President Trump signed that executive order directing the respective agencies to do it. I know that that process continues and is ongoing. He's committed to transparency and the declassification of these very important files that I think many Americans are not only interested in learning about,
but deserve to know. I think people deserve to know.
But also have the right to know about.
100%.
As for the two heinous assassination attempts on the president's life, he's spoken to this publicly. I've spoken to him about it privately. And, you know, as he said publicly to all of you, he feels he has a right to know about further information about the individuals who tried to kill him.
Dude, if they actually catch, like, this fucking scheme putting these people there, because the conspiracy is deep. I just made a video on the conspiracy that, that maybe these assassination attempts are not two random gunmen. Fuck, dude.
Tried to take his life. And so if and when we get that information, I'll leave it up to the president to decide whether or not he would like to reveal it. But I believe in the effort of transparency that we've seen consistently from this president, he certainly will. Daniel.
Thanks, Carolyn. I wanted to ask you about the $59 million that FEMA sent to
Yes! That's a good question.
New York City migrant hotels. Secretary Kristi Noem just put out a statement saying that she clawed back the full payment that FEMA activists unilaterally gave to NYC migrant hotels. She wrote, "Mark my words, there will not be a single penny spent that goes against the interest and safety of the American people." What does the response of the Trump administration send to any federal bureaucrats that are thinking about obstructing the president's agenda?
Oh, God, let's go, dude. I am so ready. Let's go, dude. Oh, yes. Cook these frauds.
They will be held accountable.
Yes.
But the president is signing.
I think that's super important. On the one hand, I think it's important to know exactly who was being the people scamming, because it's our money that they're stealing. They're stealing our money, bro. Oh, yes, they should be held accountable.
Executive orders daily, and he expects all officials across the administration, regardless if they are a political appointee or if they are a career bureaucrat, to adhere to the will of the American people and the 77 million Americans who re-elected President Trump. He's here for a reason, and he is focused every day on implementing his administration's goals, and sending $59 million to a migrant hotel to house illegal immigrants when there are still people in North Carolina and California who have not received FEMA funding is not something that this administration is going to tolerate.
It's unacceptable. That is fraud. That is absolute fraud. That FEMA, it's an organization meant to help citizens in crisis. And not only was it not helping people in crisis, but it wasn't even helping citizens. It was helping illegal immigrants on the deportation list evade ICE. $59 million. Now, these people were fired, which is a dub. I think that they should probably be arrested for fraud. So anyway, we'll see where that goes. But most importantly, apparently, there's been a leak at the FBI to ICE people on how to evade, to illegal immigrants on how to evade ICE. I know that Homan, the border czar, the wall, I know he's talking about that. Whew. Right now, Trump really kind of feels like he's just trying to get a vibe. He's trying to get the feeling of what's going on. But I really want to see the fucking wheels of justice turn. None of these people should be above the law. Not a single one.
Tiana.
Thank you so much, Caroline. One on New York and one on Russia, please. On New York City Comptroller Brad Lander is accusing DOGE of clawing back $80 million that was intended for New York City FEMA funding. Wondering if you've heard about that figure, if that figure is accurate, and why that money was taken back.
I have not heard about that figure. DOGE is moving very quickly, but I can get the receipts and gladly send them to you. I know that story is likely of great interest to the New York Post.
And then one
John.
on Russia, please. Sure. Is President Trump waiting for a kind of signal or an action from Putin to go to Russia? And
what does that mean, a signal? What are you implying?
And would he be willing to go to Ukraine in the future?
I don't have any decisions to make on the president's potential visit to Russia or any in-person meeting at this time.
That's crazy. I really hate the questions that frame it like that. Like, what are you gonna do? I don't think it's a poorly worded question, chat. I think it's a vindictively worded question. Is Trump waiting for his grand poopah, Lord and Savior, Master Putin to invite him? Is that what he's waiting for? That's basically the question. Yeah, it's kind of gross. Not gonna lie. Oh, it froze. Fuck.
John.
Caroline, two questions. One on foreign policy, one on domestic policy. Following up on the president's call that he had with President Putin, does the president view Russia, does he view President Putin as an ally, as a partner, as a competitor, or as an adversary?
I believe this nation views Putin and Russia as a great competitor in the region, at times an adversary, but as the president has said as well, he enjoys having good diplomatic relationships with leaders around the world.
Which is, you know, sensible. Naming people enemies and then just end up getting into endless wars isn't always a great move. Someone in chat just said, Nux, you being blind to Trump and specifically Elon's illegitimacies and illegalities is so annoying, Imo. With all due respect, I made an entire video already covering that, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. There are Trumps telling them not to do basic oversight. I don't give a shit if a judge says don't do basic oversight. The judge is a retard. A biased, blinded, possibly fraudulent retard. They are doing basic oversight as to where the money is going. Again, I don't mind if you disagree with me. I am all for people disagreeing with me. But with all due respect, this isn't being blind. This is saying that the system is broken. If you can't do basic oversight into what billions of tax dollars are going to, that's insane. Judge is the law. Well, there are other judges that say it's okay. So with all due respect, judge isn't the law. If a judge told you that they decree that you need to give them all of your money, do you now need to give them all of your money? No. Oh, why not? The judge is the law. Because that's not how it fucking works, bro.
Finding that common ground, also calling them out when they are wrong, and leading from a position of peace through strength. That's the president's greatest strength, and we've seen that again, time and time again.
And then as you pointed out in your statement regarding the confirmation of Tulsi Gabbard, there was one Republican who voted against the nomination of Tulsi Gabbard. It was Senator Mitch McConnell. Similarly, how does the administration view Senator McConnell? Can he be a partner in the president's legislative agenda? Are you disappointed that he voted against not only Tulsi Gabbard, but also Pete Hegseth to be the defense secretary?
I think we're greatly disappointed in any Republican who chooses willfully to vote against the president's exceptionally qualified cabinet nominees and picks to lead his America First administration. Not a single Democrat swayed from voting against President Biden's nominees, and we know how many of them turned out. They turned out to be atrocious at their jobs, leaving America much worse than they were.
She's cooking!
When they took the oath of office. And so I've said it repeatedly from this podium. I addressed it at the beginning of my remarks. We expect all Republicans to vote, to stay tough and strong, vote for President Trump's nominees so we can get to work and continue to work very hard to implement this president's agenda. Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Caroline. On South Korea is currently in a chaotic situation. How does the President Trump react to the current chaotic situation?
At least we're talking about a different sector of the world. But honestly, to quote, dude, my favorite thing, you have to see this Trump quote. Bro, you know what Trump would answer her, right? I know what Trump would answer her.
Because I'm an Afghan journalist, Afghan suffered woman. Any comment about Afghanistan? What's your future plan for Afghan people, especially Afghanistan?
I have a little hard time understanding you. Where are you from? Oh. Actually, it's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying. but I just say this. Good luck. Live in peace. Go ahead, please.
Oh my God! That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's a beautiful voice, it's a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying. So I'll just say this, good luck. That is the greatest quote I've ever heard in my life. Oh my God.
South Korea. Secondly, if South Korea need help from United States, what role do you think the U.S. will play?
Sure. I haven't spoken to the president about the ongoing situation in South Korea. I would defer you to his previous statements. And I can also see if I can get you something new from the National Security Council, who I'm very confident the officials that are focused on South Korea are on this. I just haven't spoken to them about it, but I'm happy to provide that for you. Yes.
Thank you, Caroline. Does Elon Musk have power of the presidency?
Absolutely
not. Oh my
not.
God! Why do they even ask this question? Oh my fucking God. Dude, if I was like a hardcore Democrat, far left guy right now, I would be furious. I would be furious that these are the fucking morons representing me. Oh my Lord. The U.S. aid checks bounced and they have nothing to ask.
I asked that question. I asked that question because, you know, the Democrats have been hurling insults at Elon Musk, hurling attacks, calling him President Musk. Most recently, Jamie Raskin, the congressman, took it a step further, calling for Musk's impeachment, saying that he somehow usurped the power of the presidency.
These people are fucking retarded.
What's your response?
It's utterly...
My response is simple. Make retards retarded again. What do you want to say?
Really ridiculous.
It's insane.
Elon Musk.
It's fear-mongering, too. Because you're going to have people thinking that they're living in some kind of terrifying dictatorship where they don't have human rights.
Addressed this in the Oval Office yesterday. The president addressed it as well. Elon Musk is serving at the pleasure of the president, just like everybody else on this team. He takes directives directly from the president of the United States. And I think some of the comments that you referred to are nothing more than a failed attempt from the media and from Democrats to try to sow division in this White House. We saw them do it in the first term. We're not going to let them do it in the second term. This is a unified team who is working at the pleasure of the president to do what's right for the American people. I have one more quick housekeeping note before I leave you all today. Okay. The president wanted me to share with all of you that he had a wonderful meeting with King Abdullah of Jordan yesterday. They discussed many things, including the Gaza Strip and its future at great length. The king would much prefer that the Palestinians stay in place, with the additional land to be used for new development, which would greatly create jobs at levels never seen before. But the president feels it would be much better and more majestic if these Palestinians could be moved to safer areas. I would just add to that the president remains wholeheartedly committed to seeing peace in the Middle East, and our Arab partners in the region have been tasked with coming up with a peace plan to present to the president. That is ongoing. King Abdullah.
Yeah, and everyone says that he's a bad negotiator. When's the last time you've even heard of like a potential possible peace in that region?
I mentioned that yesterday. He also committed to accepting 2,000 sick children from the Gaza Strip, which the president called a beautiful gesture. So
it is beautiful gesture. Gesture meaning it's not enough, but beautiful because he's taking 2,000 children from the Gaza Strip. Now, I have a dumb question for you. Everyone in chat that says, you know, Trump is evil and he's causing death and stuff like that. Why didn't the King of Jordan take 2,000 sick children of the Gaza Strip before? In fact, why didn't any countries around the Gaza Strip take a single refugee from Gaza before? Interesting. You know what? I'm not even going to answer that one. I'll let you come up with that.
The administration continues to work with our Arab partners in the region. We stand closely with our ally Israel, and the president has presented this big, new, bold idea to secure peace in the Middle East, and he is not going to waver from that. And we look forward to seeing that goal of this administration achieved as well.
Yeah, that was a good speech. That was a good press meeting. Damn, she cooked. She absolutely cooked. Well, anyway, yeah, I'll be real. I'll be honest. The transparency is very pleasurable. I'm enjoying it a lot. Beating my meat to this transparency, that's what I'm doing. Planet America coming soon to theaters. Anyway, let's see what the warmonger has installed for us, bro. Let's see what that's about. Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Stay weird, fam.